Welcome. My name is Peter, and today we're going to do one of my favorite things, which is try out a new art making gadget. Yeah, so sit back, relax, and come on in. Today's art making experiments take place in a shared artist space that I'm renting some space in. And it's a little bit weird, slightly run down, but it's got a lot of character because there's always a lot of artists in there doing weird stuff, just leaving strange objects around, and the grass grows long outside. People leave graffiti on the walls. And there's this little background patio space with nice green stuff. Anyways, today we're reviewing this thing, the Claw Lab tufting gun. It comes with a nice frame and basically put this roll of monk cloth on there. Monk cloth seems like the default cloth for tufting, doing rug hooking. Here it is, the Claw Lab tufting gun. I'm gonna open this up. It comes in a nice gray container and a sleek, kind of futuristic design there. Some little accessory tools, nice plug, a USB plug, USB-C, I'll be more precise. And it comes with 10 balls of yarn, and then I had some yarn of my own. And then basically you use this aluminum frame, run the monk cloth through it, and this frame has mechanisms for making the monk cloth nice and taut. That way the tufting gun works better. I started with green. It has a little needle for threading it through the hole in the tufting gun. And this is my first try with this thing, okay? I'd never tried a tufting gun before. All my experience with tufting, or before what I had been calling rug hooking, had just been doing it by hand. But they said, hey, you want us to send you a tufting gun and you try it out and show it in a video? I'm like, hey, yeah. Send it over and I'll take a swing at it. And as you can see here, my first few swings were what I would call misses. But pretty quick I realized that first of all I wasn't pressing hard enough and I was going in the wrong direction. It pretty much only works in one direction, but once you figure out the right amount of pressure and what direction you're supposed to go, it works pretty good and it's pretty satisfying. Plus, I like how you can see the little mechanism working on the inside there. And then I just kind of went for it. I will say, if you look up like tufting gun projects, in fact there is a woman who left a half-finished project in my art studio. I think she's gone abroad to do art residency. This one and all the ones I've seen online almost, they don't go at it the same way I have, okay? Most people, they like draw a design onto the monk cloth beforehand, sometimes using a projector or a stencil, and then in a very orderly method fill in that design, usually with just like a bunch of like vertical or horizontal lines, very carefully and uniformly filling it in. And well, first of all, I didn't know how this thing worked, so I didn't want to I don't know, I just wanted to try it out. Okay, that's it. I just wanted to see what would happen, and it was fun to just kind of, what I would call, draw with it, doodle with it. You know how I like to do. I don't like planning things out. And it worked pretty good with this method of just kind of winging it. Like even when I was drawing on top of lines that were already there, it still worked. Basically what this does is it pokes a thread. It pokes like a little noodle of thread through the monk cloth, and then on the way back there's like a little tiny itsy bitsy pair of scissors built into the needle, and it snips it off. When I did it by hand, it was one long thread, but this is a bunch of little pieces of thread because it snips them in half every time it goes in and out. But yeah, it works good. Probably the strangest part about all this is how I was essentially drawing the design backwards, since I was working from the back, and the design, like I don't know, you call it the usable part of the part you're supposed to look at and enjoy, is all the little tufts of thread popping out the front of the cloth. So every now and then I would walk around to the other side of the cloth and look at what I had going on, and I mean, it was mostly what I thought was going to be there, but just the fact that it was like a horizontally, like a mirror image of what I had in my brain beforehand was a little bit weird. But it's not the end of the world. Once again, this wouldn't be a problem if you were working from a design you had drawn on there. And if you drew the design on there and were tracing it with your tufting gun, I'm assuming that you would draw it on there on the back of it, and it wouldn't be seen at all. Plus, this is kind of like, it kind of reminded me of how sometimes I paint something on a canvas with like an oil or acrylic paints, and I stand back and look at the finished painting, and then I look down at my palette where I've been mixing paint, and I'm just like, wow, that palette is beautiful. Sometimes I'm tempted to say it's more beautiful than the painting itself, but no, I don't want to, put down myself that way. It's just the palette has its own beauty of just, I don't know, it's a mix of accident and purpose, but I think the same thing was kind of happening here on the back of the cloth with all these little like every time I would start and stop, a little, I don't know if you call it a pen stroke with the tufting gun. There would be a little like strand of string hanging down, and just the spacing of the different lines of string or yarn. I don't know, the back of the cloth just looks so different than the front of the cloth. It's fun to look at both sides, that's all I'm saying. I'll give you a close-up look of it at the end, don't worry. And I guess I didn't get to it in this video just because I was just happy to get done with it and look at the finished product. If you wanted to finish it up, you could cut it out of the cloth and hem it or glue up the edges somehow, give it some sort of backing, turn it into something to put on the wall or the floor. I think the idea I like the most is to make things to somehow sew onto like the back of a denim jacket or something to turn it into some cool wearable art. Maybe that would be a really hot and heavy denim jacket, though. I don't know. What about those shirts? They have denim jackets with like wool on the inside of them, though. Those aren't too hot and heavy. Anyways, I had a good time with this. It was very, I found it very easy to get into the zone, into the groove, just thumping away at it. It was just fun. That's all. Yeah. Look at the back there. Very satisfying back. Very cool texture to run your fingers and eyeballs over. I used almost all the wool they sent and a little of my own wool, and yeah, pretty happy with it. At first I was using it on a very low speed setting, but then by the end, I think it goes like 1 to 20 strokes per something. I don't know. It goes like 1 to 20. I don't know. I read briefly in the manual. At first I started with it at like 4 or 5, but by the time I was getting to the end, I had it up to like 14 or 15, I think. And then also I think another thing you can do to finish it, and by finish I mean, make it into like a nice polished product, is kind of do what I'm doing here with the scissors, trimming off some of the hangers on the front, but I've seen other people that use like actual electric clippers, like for trimming hair, but they come along to this finished side and kind of trim up some of the edges. If you go in at an angle with the electric clippers, you can make it a little bit more 3D, make some areas go in, some go out. I don't know, there's all sorts of options, and this was just a first attempt, so now I'm at the stage where I'm daydreaming about what I might do next. And if you're doing some daydreaming of your own, of what you might make, there's a link in the description. It's an affiliate code, so I do get 5% of any sales made from that link, so that helps me out. And to help you out, there's a coupon code for $20 off if you want to buy one of these for yourself and have a little fun making some fuzzy, colorful art to do whatever you want with. So check it out. Have some fun. Thanks for watching, everyone. Like and subscribe also. Yeah.